All of the stocks that we're putting on our watch list today. So let me start off with that. First one on my watch list is Bharat Electronics. A thumbs up there. The company has secured additional orders worth 577 crores. So that's the official exchange filing that they put out, the notification they put out. So total orders received during the current financial year now stand at 13,724 crores. A lot of those orders are for airborne electronic warfare products, advanced composite communication systems for submarines, etc. There's a note out on BEL from JP Morgan as well, which is why I think you might want to watch this for moves today. They've maintained an overweight with a target price of 343 rupees. They say structural growth with strong order announcements ahead. They've seen a 20% correction from peak and say this presents a good entry opportunity. I thought that was interesting. BEL is the most diversified and consistent play on the defense capex, and they see a revenue, EBITDA, PAT, CAGR of, and respectively 15%, 17%, 16%, and 25%. So let me say that again: 15% CAGR or increase in revenue, 17% for EBITDA, 16% for PAT, and 25% increase in average ROE, return on equity, over FY24 to 27 is compelling. So for the next 3 years, FY24 to 27, in that period, they see good growth. They see a high possibility of BEL announcing 12,000 crore worth of orders by 31st March. That's important. And say this would act as a near-term catalyst for the stock price, which is why BEL first on my watch list with a thumbs up from my end. Kalpataru Projects International is the next one that I'm talking about. They've secured new orders worth 2,306 crores for transmission and distribution businesses overseas and for building projects in India as well. The order book position till date is at about 22,500 crores. It grew by 19% year on year to 61,429 crores in the 9-month period of FY25 so far. So Kalpataru Projects is the other one that you should watch out for. Brigade as well is something on our radar. We'll be speaking with the management today. It's a thumbs up. They've launched a premium residential project called Brigade Altius in Chennai. The total development area is of about 1.4 million square feet with a revenue potential of 1,700 crores. They have upcoming projects of about nearly 12 million square feet, which will be launched in the next 4 quarters, including 9 residential projects in Bangalore, 4 in Chennai, 1 in Hyderabad, and 2 in Mysuru. Their forward guidance is maintained at 15 to 20% growth in the pre-sales metric for FY25. So watch out for Brigade, because if you're seeing a turnaround, if at all, then the sectors and stocks which have been beaten the most, and real estate is perhaps at the top of it, might see that bounce back as well.
Yeah, and very interesting set of stocks. I'm hoping that mine are equally interesting. It's not a very big development in terms of the details for the first stock that I've picked, but this is a stock that you should definitely have had on your radar, and if not, you should put it on right now. TCPL Packaging. In a scenario where a lot of stocks in the broader end of the spectrum have lost a tremendous amount of value, in the year to date, this company or this stock has gained about 35%. Let's talk about what the latest update is, however. TCPL Packaging has inaugurated a facility in Chennai to increase its paperboard carton manufacturing capacity. If you're unfamiliar with what this company does, essentially everything that you consume in terms of tea or coffee or even pizza to a certain extent, this is a company that manufactures the containers that go, that all of that goes into. So if you think about it, if all of these things get consumed more, this company benefits. Q3 was actually quite good for them. They've seen a 45% increase in the PAT number and over 30% increase in the top line. Margins shrank just a tad bit. But if you're talking about a commissioning of a new facility, one would assume that you have higher scale, and that should reflect going forward as well, particularly in the first quarter of the next financial year. Let's talk about the next one, Avenue Supermarts. And on the other end of the spectrum, right, this company has seen quite a bit of a drag in the recent past, the shares being sold into. In fact, it's only about 6% off its 52-week low. But the latest update is that it has opened 4 new stores in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, and Punjab. And this has brought its total number of stores as of Thursday to 396. the headwinds that the company is facing have not gone away in terms of discounts and in terms of pricing and in terms of the threat from your quick commerce. But the fact that it is adding new stores is still a positive. Watch out for the quarterly updates. And the last one is a note that I saw, Goldman Sachs on Adani Ports. It is a thumbs up based on that. In fact, for them as well, they've maintained a buy with a target price of 1,400 rupees, and that implies an upside of 23% from the current market price. Remember, this is a stock that has gained quite considerably in the last couple of days. Yesterday it was 2% higher. The day before that it was close to 5% higher. And what they're saying, Goldman Sachs, is that the new port ramp up and the growing inland logistics, as well as the reasonable valuations as they stand right now, make it a positive bet as of now. Port volumes are set to be driven going forward by the ramp up in Vizhinjam, as well as Gopalpur, Tanzania, and the new port that they're commissioning in Colombo. They're likely to see early double-digit volume growth going forward, and in fact the logistics revenue and the EBITDA are set to grow much faster in the medium term, according to Goldman Sachs. They pointed out that Adani Ports currently trading near about 12.3 times the FY27 enterprise value to EBITDA, which is one standard deviation above the median long-term average, which they're seeing is a positive, Neeraj, at this stage.
So interesting names, some of those. I have two stocks which are positive on a negative day and a brokerage note which is positive on a negative day. So excuse me. Quess was known, but they finally received the NCLT approval for the three-way demerger, which the company announced about a year ago. This was, I think, in Feb 2024. Now, remember viewers, usually demergers are done because they are meant to unlock value. The fact that this may happen for Quess is an interesting one. Now, does this react today? Remains to be seen, but I would suspect that it could be active in the session today for sure. How strong a reaction remains to be seen. Remember also, it's a stock that to the best of my memory hasn't gone anywhere. I mean, 1 month down, yes, but if you look at the 12-month chart or maybe a 3-year chart or thereabouts, it's just not performed, and therefore you might write about 25% over the last 12 months. So therefore, could be interesting to see if the demerger brings about a spurt in the stock. I don't know if TCS reacts on a deal announcement or no, but this is the third announcement, second or the third announcement from an IT company in terms of deal wins. Mastech did it maybe 5-6 days ago. Then Coforge did 1 day before, and now TCS has signed an expanded deal with Northern Trust, which is a large institution, right? And the deal is to centralize and standardize the custody operations across 99 direct and global markets. I bring it more from a perspective of IT companies winning deals as opposed to this particularly having an impact on TCS, but you never know. So watch out for this one too in the session today. And real estate has been active. A lot of experts are saying that they are good from a trade perspective too. So here's the Jefferies view on DLF. They maintain a buy with a target price of 1,000 rupees on DLF. And Jefferies says that strong cash flows and response to the Dahlias project launch shows that the Gurgaon market concerns are likely overblown. Well, NCR had a 23% uptick in prices in the October to December quarter, by the way. Jefferies says that the lease income is set for a 20% uptick as several properties get completed or are complete, and the stock is trading at a 30% NAV discount, which makes them believe that that is an attractive proposition. Now let's see if DLF does react positively to this one or no. So guys, from my end, these three, and there are a clutch of others, of course, which might come in, which we'll talk about a bit later on for sure.